Hi, and welcome to 7th grade band. I'm excited to have you in band, and this is going to be a great year. Now that you've decided to be in band, you need to decide what instrument you would like to play, the instrument that will be best for you. And hopefully, as we go through the process in the first few days of class and through the videos on this website, you will be able to choose an instrument that will be good for you. There are a couple of things to look at and to consider when you're choosing which instrument to play. First, maybe your mom already has an instrument for you and told you that's the instrument that you want to play. One of the questions that I get asked a lot is, Mrs. Terry, what's the easiest instrument? Or, Mrs. Terry, what's the hardest instrument to play? And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't really matter, because what might be the easiest instrument for me may be not the easiest instrument for you. And what might be the hardest for me, or what might be the hardest for your friend, might be really easy for you. What really does matter is that you're willing to put some time and effort into learning your instrument. And it's easier to play your instrument when you keep up in class and do practice on your own. So as far as what's easiest and what's hardest, you're going to have to just experiment and play a little bit. And if you have a hard time deciding what instrument to play, we can figure that out for you. So on this website, I have listed and put pictures of the different instruments that are in a high school and middle school band class that we learn in band. If you don't already play any of the instruments, that's okay. Most of the people that will be in your class have never played a band instrument. And the first time that they play a band instrument is when they join the 7th grade band. We start at the very beginning and we progress together. So take a look at the instruments and become familiar with them, so you have an idea when you get to class which instruments are in the band and which instruments you can choose from. After you've decided which top 2 or 3 instruments you might be interested in learning, when we get to class, we will talk about how many of each of the instruments we would need to have in order to make our band sound the best. We need to have a good variety of each of the instruments. Some instruments we need more, and some instruments we don't need quite as many. Our percussion, you need to have played at least 2 years of piano lessons in order to play the percussion. The reason is because you have a lot of instruments to learn, because the percussion book moves more quickly than the other instruments, and you will be playing more complicated rhythms sooner than the other instruments. So you need to have a good working knowledge of how music works and the basics of a piano keyboard. The school does have a few instruments for rent, and they do okay. They are not the best instruments, but they will work. If you have an instrument at home that you are going to use, that maybe a sibling used or a cousin or something like that, make sure that we get that checked out before school starts, so that we make sure that that instrument works and that you will be able to be successful on that instrument. In a few weeks, we will have a couple of the music stores from St. George coming here, and they will provide a service of teaching you a little bit about the instruments.